Hi, and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast. My name is Jendrek.
My name is Masha.
And we are two freelance English teachers who specialize in conversation questions in classes.
Questions and classes.
All right. So I specialize in questions, honestly.
Yeah.
It's my greatest achievement in this field.
Database of questions.
Yeah, the database of questions, Guys, my database, I haven't checked on it for a while, but the last time I checked, and it was like early in 2022, there were like almost 2,000 questions, 2,000 questions, unique questions. Not all of them are like, the top quality, but there are some that I really like, and asking them each time produces a different answer,
Actually, do you think there are top class questions, and it really depends on the person. Sometimes you look at a question and you think, I'm not sure about this one, and then you have a brilliant conversation.
Yeah, you're right. It depends on the person, it depends on the time, and definitely depends on my energy,
How much tea you've had today with Melissa?
Yeah, I mean, you may boil it down to my tea, but basically I think if my mind is working, searching for some whatever I wanted to say, avenues, or dark corners, or wherever, that each question is like a gateway to to eternity.
Yeah.
But you just have to be in the mood, and then if you see some sense in it, then me as a teacher, as a person who's a host, let's say, who's running the conversation, I'm able to ask interesting follow-up questions and so on. But if I'm lacking this energy, it's kind of worse. The questions burn fast.
So the student is on his own.
Yeah, I mean, and also, I guess conversation is something where you actually share energy, and if you have a lot of it, you may charge the other person. It's like someone is exhausted after a day of work.
Yeah.
But then there's a nice, interesting conversation that starts with potentially an interesting question. But like I said, it doesn't have to be like interesting, outright interesting. Might be it might be something that okay, I don't know, but and then it turns into something great. But I definitely have my like favorite questions,
yeah
like the best of, they actually have a tag, the best of,
oh, okay.
And then there are questions that I just I just put to my database, but never maybe even
just in case you ever run out of
just in case. But once again, this database is growing. It's growing, I guess slower now, because having like 2,000 questions, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, sure, there are concepts that probably could be explored, but you need to find the right angle, to look at certain concepts, and also perhaps the context a bit, and so on. But I'm choosing questions. First, there's the question of the week, and I tend to ask the same question to everyone. But then the rest of the questions, because I guess in each class I'm asking something like 4 questions, 3, 4, 5 sometimes, but the rest of the questions are usually personalized. It means that I choose them knowing who's going to sit in front of me.
So how I think a little bit about you always say that you don't really know much about your students, but at the same time you seem to know quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, but because you know quite a lot about your students, I mean,
without knowing where they work and how many children they have and where did they go on a holiday.
Exactly. I mean, I'm never asking personal questions like that. How many kids do you have? Where have you been? And what have you seen?
But it's funny, but you very often know, because it comes up.
it comes up from in between the lines.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so after, let's say, a season, which is typically like 8 classes, I know quite a lot about people, and they know I assume quite a lot about me. I'm not hiding, stuff like, okay, I'm a father of 2, but it's like, first, I'm not,
advertising
waving this flag. Yeah, I'm not, and I'm not telling it, but sometimes, I say, okay, we have to finish like 5 minutes earlier because, I have to go to the nursery and pick up my son, sorry. Or, so it surfaces from the context sometimes,
so
but it's not the principle.
Sometimes people, maybe people might get the impression that we're, like robots. We don't ask personal questions. We don't care about our students as, people outside classroom, but that's not true.
This is totally not, this is totally not true. I mean, this might actually be quite a long conversation, but talking
I'm
about
the
this treatment. No, but it's interesting. It's interesting, because what I can say after 10 years of experience, oh my God, I've been, in this business for 10 years. But I must say that not asking personal questions doesn't equal not caring or, not knowing or getting to know someone. I would even venture to say that by asking the type of questions that we ask, that are, let's say, impersonal, they target certain concepts, not people, not their lives, I think we know much more about people. And I think I was even thinking that, the questions that we ask could actually be used by HR managers, who run job interviews, because job interviews questions like, are you a turtle or a tiger?
Yeah.
Are you, this kind of stuff, are you whatever, what is your greatest achievement and failure and so on. And these are all awfully personal questions. And well, it's fine, of course. I mean, some people can't even imagine.
There's a bunch of videos online where people teach you how to answer these questions.
Yeah, how to answer that, So, yeah. And
anyone with the, access to
which means that it's so fake. It's so fake because, if you ask a typical HR question to the candidate, then you may be 100% sure that the person, unless it's someone who doesn't care, and is surprised by the question, but for the people who are in search of a job and they go to different interviews, they're well prepared and they deliver a certain pre-conceived answer, that is well designed, that when you talk about your greatest failure, you talk about it in such a way that it turns out to be your greatest achievement. It's like, I failed, but, it made me stronger. And then, and because everything is prepared. I know that big companies, corporations, they may be actually looking for people like that. They don't want you to be like an independent thinker. Come on. Just listen to your boss, do what he or she says, and this is all, and so what we need from you perhaps is, this minimum of brains, and that's all. So, but I was thinking, that by shifting the emphasis from personal life to some abstract things that are out there, well, you get to know about the person a lot, the way of reasoning, this is what is called, I think, depth. It's not just the breadth, like how much do you know about whatever, but the depth, because when you talk about concepts and questions, like our questions, that you don't know what's the answer. I mean, there is no definite answer, and definitely not correct or incorrect. You may be, of course, talking sense or nonsense, sure, but definitely it's not about being correct or incorrect, But you reveal so much about yourself. Oh, Masha, I know you, like, I know everything about you.
That's scary.
Even
You
though
know, this is scary.
even though I don't even know where you live, you know. I mean, I don't know your address or, you know. All right. Yeah. So that's the secret of our questions, you know. They are impersonal, but at the same time, they reveal a lot about you.
So let's give people a taste of what they're like. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Let's reveal something about ourselves.
Yeah. So let's reveal something about ourselves.
Can you imagine how well our listeners must know us by this time? Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, you know, this is interesting, and in fact, it makes me, you know, I feel like I'm gonna ask you a question that's connected to it in round 1 or 2, depending on where I am.
Okay, go ahead. Play your sound and ask me.
All right, great. Let's go. So we go to the thinking out loud proper.
We do.
Okay, great. Anyone, you know, listening, anyone out there, you know, this handful of people listening to us, you can go to our website, which is www.studiomentals.com. It's everything's in the description, of course, the link, I mean. And well, you can go there, check out, you know, our faces.
Book a free class or 2 classes.
You can book a free class. Yeah, I was told, Masha, just the last thing before we go to the thinking out loud proper. I was told today on Twitter that you know, not showing prices is bad. This is some kind of a fad by you know, by young marketers, you know, who don't show the prices of the classes, and then, you know, if I don't see the price, then I'm not even interested, and so on. Well, guys, this is not like you know, this is not a hypermarket, you know. We don't have to be flashing prices, you know. They are cheap. That's one thing. And second, you know what, I think, you know, I've never had, or just I can't remember honestly, if anyone has ever resigned after the demo class, you know, this first meeting, and said that, you know, this is, you know, whatever, you know, I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. You know, I don't like the.
And you charge an arm and then.
I think once people come and you know, we have a chance to talk about their needs and also, you know, check their brains, you know, with our beautiful questions. I guess it makes people interested, you know, and they know instantly that, hey, this is a really good product. You know, I've found someone, you know, finally, someone who knows what they're doing, and someone who's running classes in a different way, you know, different than everywhere else. Right. Yeah, so guys, we are not showing prices, but you may be sure first that the first meeting is free, and the second, the classes are good and darn cheap, you know.
I know who is a marketing director in our company.
Oh, you mean
I mean you.
Fine.
Okay, let's go.
So let's go, guys. Yeah, book your classes, or if you don't want to book, then check out this demo, you know. Fine.
Round 1.
Great. So wait a second, it's me asking?
Yes.
All right, fine. So I want to ask you, since we talked about, you know, this getting to know each other and so on. So I want to ask you, what's the difference between knowing a lot about someone and knowing someone very well? Knowing a lot versus knowing very well. That's my question.
Yeah, this is what I
Oh, sorry. Oh. That's just, you know, that's an encouragement for you.
Okay, this definitely encouraged me. I think this is just because people today confuse these things. I think marketing people use it, you know, this confusion to manipulate people. This is how you sell today.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you create an Instagram account, and then you start building your personal brand. And today, it used to be like that. Let's say, I don't know, 5 years ago, you only posted something concerning your related to what you want to sell, whether it's I don't know, product or service. For example, if
was
I'm an English
Instagram
teacher,
around 5 years ago?
okay, 3 years ago. So if I'm an English teacher on Instagram, I will only post, stuff about learning English.
Yeah.
But lately, all these, gurus of building personal brand, they tell you that you need to reveal a little bit about your, they call it personal life, because your
like
your
you
followers
need to
want to
take
see
a
you as
selfie
a,
in your kitchen, stuff like that, right?
no, not only. You talk about your, I don't know, your children, the problems
you show your
have.
dog.
Yeah. So, and the reason why they say that you should do that, these gurus, is that people will get to know you, and they will, it's likely that they buy something from you than from a person who only, who they only see
because
as a
they know
as a
that you're a
teacher.
nice guy who
Yeah.
loves dogs and so on.
And if you happen to have a dog, then oh my God, then of course, oh, I know her. She has a dog. She has 2 children just like me. She has the same problems. And I would rather, and it creates this illusion that you know the person. And of course, I'd rather buy from someone I know than from someone I don't know. But actually, I know only.
And but before you continue, but please remember what you want to say. But there's a new restaurant that has just opened. I know few, let's say, I don't even know, days or weeks, ago, here where I live. And I was just passing by today, and I don't know if this is just my experience or everyone's, but maybe it's wider than just me. But I was afraid to go inside and see the menu, and see what they're offering, and to talk to someone. I was simply afraid. It's like I know this is a new stuff, and maybe maybe it's I don't know why, and I mean it's very hard to even verbalize these emotions. But I felt like, oh, I'm kind of afraid, but I managed to get inside and
the challenges people face in the south of France, comparing to me, I'm sorry, but
all right, yeah, fine.
Not relate
sorry
to
for that,
sorry.
Sorry, fine. But the point is,
afraid to check out the new restaurant. I don't remember last time I actually went.
Because sometimes you really get I don't know, like a cold shoulder,
Sorry.
Even if that's a restaurant or a place that should theoretically be really friendly and like welcome you. But
and you are used to excellent user experience, yes?
Yeah, but I went inside and I just
conquered your fear.
I conquered my fear, exactly, of the novelty. Okay. And then I spoke with I don't know, the owner or the cook or whoever, and suddenly it was like a totally different place. I was like, okay, this guy is friendly. I may actually even buy something here, one day, because they didn't have couscous today. Doesn't matter, but they may have it on Friday. So, the point is that if you don't know someone, like if it's not, I may be wrong on that, because I'm trying now to think about my experience of buying stuff at the street market, and if you know the people, their faces, then it's much easier to buy something. This is what you say, in that Instagram, you basically become like,
not knowing, recognizing faces, I don't think it's enough. You need to connect to a person on some level. And this is what they're doing.
Yeah, this is what they are doing by showing their dogs and
but I think even when you look at faces and talk to people in street markets, it's very different to following a person in Instagram, because the people, when you speak to them, what is it called today? I don't know how to call it. Offline, in real life,
I
always
horribly
struggle
difficult right now. Yeah, because what this Skype.
Well, I mean, when you can touch a person, the person cannot hide behind the screen, and the person will eventually reveal something, will definitely reveal something about, a gesture, whatever. You can look at, you can see the clothes, the nails, well, everything. But on Instagram, it's
Dirty
all, yeah. Thank you for it. I wanted to. But on Instagram, it's all an act. I mean, it's not necessarily a lie, but they show you what they want you to see. They don't show you how they look, you know, on a Monday morning after a party. And but today, even, you know, even this, because people understand that everything is so fake, you know, all these perfect pictures, these gurus tell them that you need to show when
exactly.
you fuck ups.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when you're hangover or something,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then, but even that is, you know, probably, you know, at 100th attempt, you know, yeah, photoshopped, yeah, and you know, so
you
do
want
I
you
actually look
your
good in
best
that? You know,
hangover, yeah.
yeah. It's my yeah. You're right.
Yeah, and with restaurant, actually, I think there are different maybe reasons at play here, because this is somebody who's going to cook your food and you're going to eat it. So of course you want it to be done by somebody you, at least you believe, you know, or you trust, like, you know.
I mean, it's good to see the person. I know what you mean. Especially that, you know, I'm talking about a cuisine that is, let's say, exotic to me. You know, it's from the Middle East, so you know, it's.
I don't know, when it's exotic, but how is it going to help if you see the person?
Well, because you know, it's. I don't know. I don't want to. You know, I don't want to go into like too deep into that. You know, before maybe I know I say something improper. You know.
Okay, then let's not.
But yeah, you know, I know you're the policeman here. You know, so
I'm definitely the policeman. Yeah.
So, but you know, no. The thing is that I'm talking about different cultures here. You know, meeting, and it's always, you know, some like, it's not like, you know, I'm going inside ordering pierogi. You know, well, I'm an expert on pierogi. You know, give me that. I mean,
well, that's why when you go to, when you are ordering pierogi, it maybe, you know, it makes sense that you want to see the person. But when you go to, I don't know, China, what's the use? What's the, I don't know, how is it going to help? They have different, even maybe hygiene standards, you know. Does it proper?
Yeah, sure.
Does it sound proper?
Sure, yeah.
So
it's past, you know.
And it's absolutely okay. It's a different culture. So I don't think that, you know, seeing a cook at work will actually help you if it's something exotic.
But wait, let's go back to wait, are you there, or
yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right, great. All right, because it was frozen for a moment. I wanted to ask you, because, you know, knowing a lot versus knowing very well. So you say that you know that whatever or whoever, actually, teacher or school or restaurant very well by knowing the owners, like certain facts from their life, like how many kids do they have,
but I think the
dogs.
key difference here is how you got these facts. You know, you need to get them firsthand. That's my opinion.
Right.
You need to, you know, we have.
I mean, but you know, it may not alter. I mean, if you have like 2 kids, well, you say it on Instagram, then if you meet personally, you probably also have 2 kids. You know what I mean? It's these are facts. It's certain facts. You know, or if you're a blonde, I mean, yeah, you can change the color of your hair.
But who cares? I mean, it's not the fact that the person has 2 kids that matters. What matters is that she would probably post a picture with her kids when she wants to look, when she wants people to see her as a good mother.
Yeah.
But I would rather go to her to, I don't know, a ski resort,
to meet her person. Yeah.
And see, and this is how I will know if she's a good mother or not. So it's this kind of information. You know,
so
we had.
If you know, so wait, Masha, if you know everything about me, like on paper, so you know, my address, my, you know, like facts about me, you know, that you could read in a biography, okay? Can you say that you know me very well?
Well, no.
Well, you can read Elon Musk's biography. Do you know Elon Musk very well?
No.
After reading it.
Well, you know, look at his tweets, and you can gather pretty. Well, of course, it will be one-sided, yeah, but you will get a snippet of his personality. You know, his sense of humor. I don't know, bringing this sync.
But most of that, yeah. But most of that will be your projection of that person. You know what I mean?
Isn't everything
based on those snippets?
But well, it's always your projection.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, even if you think about your husband or wife, is it?
Of course.
Oh yeah.
I mean, my husband's colleagues and me. I'm telling you, we have totally different opinions. I'm trying to be careful here. Opinions about his
who he is,
organizational skills, let's say.
Oh, all right. All right.
So it's always your perception. You see, it's how you. There is no reality, you know that. It's only how you.
Yeah, but I guess you have like more accurate perception. You know what I mean? Because you know your husband from, let's say, not just during the working hours, but also outside. So, you may have a better perspective.
Yes, but it's how I also the standards I have to judge something. Maybe if he had a different wife, she would have, she would, I don't know. Okay. She would be willing to overlook some things and see other things, which I don't, you know how women are like.
Right. Yeah. I get it. I know what you're driving at.
Yes.
But okay, fine. But all that means that well, we are really touching philosophy here, but we don't really know each other personally, and our closest family members. We don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting question.
People.
For example, you imagine you have a friend, really, really close friend. You've known each other since, I don't know, since you went to the same daycare.
And
you think, oh my God, I know the sandbox. I know this guy. And and suddenly he does something that shocks you. And you understand that I've never actually known this person. So here's the question. Is it really that you didn't know the person properly, or the person has changed and you didn't even notice?
Yeah, it's true. But it applies also to ourselves. We may sometimes do something that we wouldn't expect from ourselves,
So we don't even know ourselves?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, this is a huge challenge of all the philosophy, What was that, Seneca or someone saying, know thyself,
Oh my God. Then
it means
what is
your
question makes no...
I mean, so no, the question, I mean, what, does it make sense?
Well,
the point is, it is totally possible to know a lot about someone.
Yes.
And especially if we talk about,
especially today,
but personalities like Elon Musk and other celebrities, there are biographies, there are volumes written about their life, about their careers, their also personal life. So you know a lot about them.
Yeah.
Knowing that, I mean, given you have a lot of facts, but whether we can know them very well, I think it's very hard. First, because you have to be with the person 24 hours per day. And second, the problem is that we are changing. So even if you know someone right now, it doesn't mean that you know the person tomorrow, which is kind of, well, on the one hand, I think it's great because we don't get tired of each other. I mean, thinking about marriage, I mean, people get tired, but chances are that you may actually evolve, both of you, and you may like keep chasing each other, in this, race to get to know each other. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like a constant evolution. So we are not the same people, knowing each other inside out. And, there's no secret and nothing new.
Yes.
But on the other side, of course, it's kind of strange that we may never actually get to know each other very well. But if you think about, and I will make a reference to our questions, and or personal versus, let's call them impersonal. I call them educative questions, but whatever. And I think more, slightly more, or a person, maybe not, you don't know more about the person, but the person slightly better if you ask these impersonal questions.
Yeah.
Not about questions like where were you, the last weekend, or how was your last summer, stuff like that. I think you may actually know less about the person. I mean, facts from life, like how old are you, and and so on. But you may know the person better, given that the way of thinking of the person, and given that it doesn't change, of course.
Because what does it mean to know a person well? It means, in a nutshell, that you can predict his behavior in this or that situation.
Yeah. And that, okay, it's it's Maciek, or it's Franek, or whoever, I know who you are, and I know that this kind of reaction is typical of you, or that I may count on you in the future, because you are a person like this and you do things like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a Soviet singer, songwriter, and actor. You probably don't know him, but he has a brilliant song, and it says Vysotsky.
All right.
And he has a song, and the song is basically, if you want to know the person well, take him to the mountains.
Oh, nice. I like that. And I've always been interested in Himalayas, and mountaineering, as such, and I think it's fascinating. But yeah, it's so basically, if I interpret this correctly, it means that you need some sort of a test, right?
Test, but then when you go mountain climbing, you have this, you're in a pair somehow. You're attached to each other. So you give your life basically to this person. Your life is in his hands. And there may come a moment when he will show his character. So that's why you go through some kind of.
There are so many beautiful stories, from the mountains, and tragic, of course, too. But so many stories, I will never forget. And not so old, not so long time ago, there was the case of, can't remember her name. There was a French Himalayist, a woman who got stuck, I think, in Nanga Parbat, and she was saved by the two Polish Himalayists who were, I think, I don't know if that was Nanga or it was a different mountain, but somewhere in the area, and they did some kind of a crazy run, up the bare mountain, bare rock. Amazing, there should be a movie about it, and they saved her. All right, fine.
Now
I agree.
The round of applause. Yeah.
The round of applause. Just a second. I would just like to perhaps have some sort of summary
conclusion
here. Yeah,
conclusion.
Because definitely knowing a lot about someone doesn't equal knowing someone very well.
No.
And we even put a question mark that knowing someone very well is very hard to achieve. Even knowing ourselves is hard.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. But you say that that marketers play this game, and they want us to believe that, hey, you know, this person or that product, and you know how it will behave in the future. All right. Yeah. And you can say you know it very well. But then, you know, with brands, it's maybe the same, you know. You may know certain brands, you know, they produce, let's say, watches or whatever that you can trust, you know, equipment that you can trust. But then again, it might change, you know.
Yes.
This is what happens to the Polish chocolate producer Wedel, you know. It's a great chocolate in the past, and then it, you know, changed the owner. This is crap right now, honestly. I don't want to. But it's not the same thing, you know. So basically, you know, the big name that was there, you know, it means nothing today. I mean, it's just, you know, just looks good, but nothing else. All right, great. This is what I can offer you. Thanks so much. Let's progress to
round 2.
All right, sorry, no,
round 2.
All right, fine, it's enough, you know. Oh, shut up there.
Technology.
You know? Yeah, technology, you know, it's guys, if you don't know, I'm using some kind of a console here, you know. I've got some pads that I can touch, and they actually play these sounds like,
oh yeah.
And I'm doing that also during our classes sometimes, you know. So it actually adds this, you know, whatever it adds, honestly, I don't know, but people like it, you know. It's always like, you know. Fine. Let's go to round 2, like the guy said, you know, and I'm all ears.
Okay. The question is the difference. What is the difference between a group and a team?
Great. That is a great question, you know. That requires maybe 2 hours
Sorry.
to solve. All right. Sorry, I know you're the time master.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay, a group and a team. In both cases, we have like, I mean, team is also a group, right? Let's be honest. Let's be frank here. You know, it's a group, but not every group is a team. Sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you know Euler's diagrams?
Of course, I know.
So on. Okay, go ahead. Have your answer.
All right. Fine. So I would say that a team is if there is ever some sort of a hierarchy, but team is a higher form of organization than the group, right? Group is actually not even a form of organization. I mean, you may accidentally find yourself at a bus stop with other people. You're a group, a group of people, right? And then, the same could refer to all. I mean, if you're at the stadium, of course, there's a group of people, right? Huge group of people, but still, they are not a team, even if they wear the same uniforms, supporting the same team. Hey, you see, but that's what it is. You know, you have a team playing there, on the pitch, but you have a group of people supporting them, and they are not really a team by any standards. You know, they're a group, random people who happen to support the same team. Then why are they not actually a team? It's interesting, you know, because sorry for the I don't know if you can hear the alarm, you know. We don't have a
very good timing. You said I don't know if you can hear the alarm, and then we lost you. It's like you live in Ukraine, you know.
All right. Yeah. Fine.
So repeat everything you said after that.
Well, I didn't say anything, you know. I mean, I was just, you know,
it was not a glitch.
I was just moving my mouth, but
okay.
I didn't say anything. All right, no, I'm kidding, but it was totally irrelevant. In fact, I got lost and I asked you, you know, where was I? Fine.
Okay, so let me ask you. You don't teach groups, I know, but a group of students, they're not random people.
Well, they are in a way. I mean, well, what do you mean by random people?
Well, you said random people. The group is just a group of supporters. They're random people. They're not a team. So it means that you think
Yeah.
that,
What do I mean by that? Yeah. What do I
Yeah.
mean by random people? Because, it means that, wait a second, I want to hit the bullseye here. So because I want to say that they went through certain recruitment process and they are not there as accidentally, but but then again, I'm not sure if the recruitment process is a necessary condition to have a team. I don't think so. However, a team, yeah, I mean, the access to teams is usually kind of restricted, right? You can't just
there is a
become a team
recruitment
member.
process.
There is,
Yes.
however, it looks like, but there is, I guess, because you can't just, become a team member or just like that, by wearing a t-shirt, certain t-shirt or a uniform. But I think that, okay, so you have this recruitment process that a team needs to go through. I wonder, but you know what? I'll do the ping pong here. I'll ask you, what do you think about the army? Is that a team? Such a huge organism,
Well, it's broken into, smaller parts. I don't know their names, but okay, the smallest is the unit, let's say. And it's definitely a team.
Yeah, the units, I mean, no doubt, they are teams. But the army in general, like, the whatever,
Yes, I would call it a team. Yeah, a team.
Because they have a certain hierarchy, certain organization. I wonder, it's interesting because would you call a corporation employing 5,000 people that this is a team? That, I know that the CEO will say that.
Of course, it's a team because they have different departments who are responsible for different things, and they must, coordinate their
but
work.
What if you don't know? But what if you don't even know, the people from whatever the headquarters, because you work in some
That's
kind
why
of a
you
branch,
have a CEO, a team leader, let's say, leader of this particular team.
So you don't have to know the team members to kind of have a team. They may be like.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, I think that this is a very important factor. You need to know your team members much more than you need to know your group mates. I mean, look at these students. I don't actually, yes, we have the same sort of goal, but it's not a common goal. Yeah, I want to improve your English. You want to improve your English. We work together. Because
it's just like the bus, I mean, we take the same bus.
No, not like the bus. No.
But we have different goals, because you go to school, I go to work, and the other person is, going to a cemetery.
Yeah, but it involves a lot of group work. I mean, if you work in a group, you interact with people. You work in, I don't know, pairs, sometimes small groups. You help each other. So there's a lot more cooperation than between, bus passengers.
Hey, this sounds like teams, I mean, if there's cooperation. This is what I was thinking. Yeah.
If you take one student out of a group, if somebody falls ill, will it affect group work?
Definitely not.
But a team is not like that. If you lose one team member, then for some time team will function because somebody will take over, or the work will be, I don't know, somehow delegated to other members. But eventually,
I can't say I'm convinced, because take a football team and an injured player. I mean, does it affect the work of the team? I mean, they may lose games if that was messy.
That's why they exist.
But it doesn't mean that they cease to become. I mean, they cease to be a team. Because this is Real Madrid still, this is Barcelona, and this is Man U.
Yeah, but they become a much worse team. But a group,
but still, I mean, I think, okay, let's not link the performance. I mean, because whether you're a team or not isn't linked to your performance, I guess. You may be a crappy team, but you're still a team. What? I mean, if the performance was deciding about whether you're a team or not, that would be like, unfair, I think.
No, if you're a crappy team, it means you're a bad team. Did you hear what I said? It means something is wrong with you being a team.
Okay, but what if you're amateurs from San Marino?
Then you're just a group of people,
You're bakers and butchers and other, professions. Guys who perform different, jobs, and they just meet after hours and they train. I guess they are a team, and they lose, of course, but they are a team, I guess.
No. Companies today and even sport teams, they spend a lot of money on this, what is called team building.
You mean like integration events?
You mean, and this means turning a group into a team.
Yeah.
So if you're a lousy team, you're just a group. You need more team building.
Yeah, I know that losing may dissolve a team for sure. I mean, sooner or later you'll have some kind of a toxic atmosphere in the team, and it will definitely dissolve this team. I agree, but it's not that. I wonder, thinking about San Marino here or Faroe Islands. I mean, these teams, they are basically there to lose. They are happy to represent the. I mean, I know that modern football is, full of surprises and so on, but one thing is certain, San Marino will lose. They actually had a draw once. But, I think that they might actually, because the atmosphere plays a role for sure. I mean, you don't care about the atmosphere in the group. Oh, no, you do actually, because you're teaching groups. You care about the atmosphere. You want it to be friendly. You want people to respect each other and so on. So
team members depend on each other much more than group members.
Yes, for sure. I think that, in fact, group members could, but you know what? How do you call that? I mean, it's called teamwork, not group work.
Yes. Yes.
I'm talking about, school.
No.
It's a group or teamwork? What's the difference?
You see, that's it. When you give them, when you just break them into groups to do whatever, to chat, to discuss something, but then when you give them a project, and in this group they need to decide who will be doing what, who's responsible for what, and then they will have to go do their research, then come back together and put it all, together. Then they suddenly become a team.
All right. So, all right, I get it. So
it's the level of organization, like you said.
It's a level of organization and cooperation. In fact,
cooperation, yes.
Because if the ties are, let's say, quite loose, then it's just a group, right?
Yeah, in group you don't even have to cooperate. Well, what kind of group of protesters? Are they cooperating? The only thing they did was, showing up at this particular place.
They may be holding. They may be holding, a banner together, like something. But you're right. This is a group of protesters. I mean, they're not a team.
Team of protesters.
No, a team of protesters. No. There's one interesting, I think, side question here. Like, what's the size limit of a team? And I wonder if something like 100 people or let's say 1,000, could that be? We touched it, talking about the army.
I was actually thinking downward. How many people can actually constitute a team? And I think it's 2.
Well, 2, I guess. Yeah.
But a group, not 2.
A group, 2 people is not a group?
No, it's a pair.
It's a pair, you're right. All right. So 3 people.
Hey, a group of 2.
A group of 2.
No.
I didn't say that. All right, 3 people. That's a group.
Why?
But team, you say it could be like 2 people. Could be a team.
We are a team with you.
We are a team here, of course, running this
Dream
podcast.
Team,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes. By the way, guys,
stop using fantastic and our podcast in the same sentence. You're overdoing it.
Hit the subscribe button and don't forget to blah blah. All right. Sorry, whenever I whenever I'm given the opportunity, to promote.
This is
Have
not
you seen, guys? Have you
Instagram.
seen my Instagram? I mean, you have to do it. You have to go and check it out. I'm bending over backward, to
Oh.
to promote.
A man and
this
his
show.
quote
Fine.
is discovered filters on Instagram.
Yeah.
Catch up on.
All right.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's so sad.
Mhm.
You said something important. I lost the track of it.
2 and 3.
Yeah, 2 and 3. Okay, fine, but two people could easily form a team.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know any team of 2 people? Okay, they play
Apart from us?
tennis. Yeah, apart from us. Okay, you can play tennis in
Beach volleyball. I discovered recently.
beach volleyball. Yeah, you're right. There are
Student.
teams. Sure,
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. So they are teams. They are teams, of course, and group. Okay, so this is quite interesting, but I wonder about
But what to make of it?
limit.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, what the upper limit? It's interesting.
Well, group, it's there's no limit, I think.
Yeah, but Harari, if you know this guy, he said that, and he was using, of course, science, or whatever, pseudoscience, science. Sorry. But he said that there was a research that showed that you can actually cooperate with up to something like 30 people, or there was this like 27, whatever it was, the number was kind of, it was around 30. I can't remember now, but I'm pretty sure it was closer to 30 than 50. But anyway, and he said that, this is what our brains, we are wired like that, we can only cooperate efficiently with that number of people. If it gets bigger, we lose, whatever,
So it means we know, at least we know, not well, but we know these people. We are able to say that we know maximum, well, okay, let's assume it's 30
yeah,
people.
But then again, but it's knowing people is one thing, and being able to cooperate with them is another thing, I guess.
Well, you can only cooperate with somebody you at least know something. No, you can cooperate with strangers.
Of course, the modern capitalism made it possible. I mean, capitalism, in the positive
Is it actually
sense,
cooperation?
It is. I mean, you can order stuff from China. You haven't seen these guys in your life, but
we rely on
your
different
laptop battery is coming.
We rely on something, some procedures
Contracts.
that guarantee something to, I don't know, I can't explain how it works.
Yeah, these are contracts, contracts. We make contracts, but still, I pay my Visa card, and you sort of oblige yourself. I don't know what is obliging you, of course, but the market is obliging you to stick to the contract. I mean,
so you trust your Visa card because it's reliable partner.
Yeah, Visa.
You know them.
Yeah, but it's actually quite interesting, but you may honestly cooperate with people you don't know. You totally don't know. You haven't seen in your life. It is possible, thanks to, of course, modern payment systems and so on. And not only that, I guess, because what's the alternative? You could cooperate with the people who are your friends, and of course, the circle of friends is, much, much, much smaller than the circle of potential.
It's only thanks to money. Imagine I want to buy something from you, and I want to pay with some, blue papers. You will never trust this currency.
Yeah, of course, it comes down. Yeah, sure, of course. It comes down to money, currency. This is why we trust. I trust you because you pay me like legit money. It's not,
So the money well.
I know the money. Yeah, you're
and
right.
It means that
you know.
Yeah.
But still, okay, you send me a down payment, let's say, of $1,000, and now it is my responsibility to send you the wares, the whatever you're buying, right? Because I may still not do it. I may take your $1,000 and say bye, Well, and it happens from time to time, in online shopping.
But we trust that there are laws, that we can sue the person, something like this. But imagine you're in the Wild West,
of course.
in the Wild West, where the laws, don't work.
No, you could only trust. You can only trust your friend.
So you cannot cooperate with strangers.
You couldn't. You couldn't back then, but today, thanks to this, institutional progress, courts, international, exchange, and so on. You can trust, actually. But it's something that took centuries to develop, and right now it's kind of folding back. We are.
I still feel this. These instruments, they take away a little bit of this person being a stranger, just because we have this.
Just because you have the dollar or whatever. But there is something, you can trust, of course. But normally, it's hard to trust strangers. All right, great. We are, but still, cooperation is one thing, and being a team is another thing. Because what if I order my laptop battery once again from China? And this is actually my personal story. I ordered once. It was during COVID. And it took them, I don't know how many weeks. I was already sure that, all right, I paid my money and bye. They took my money and so on. But and they claimed in emails that it has been shipped. And I was waiting until one day, guess what? There it is. My battery in my mailbox. Amazing. And I was like, wow, this is really amazing. Because I paid the money to some kind of shady website that I didn't double check, but the price was good and so on, and I just paid it without much reflection, and
okay, but it didn't make you a team.
No, of course not, but we are just cooperating, and we are not even a group. It's outside of this conversation anyway.
Then why do you mention something that's outside of this conversation?
Well, I don't know.
Do you let people do it in your classes? No, you keep bringing them back on. No.
But conversations are not. Conversations may sometimes, sidetrack. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Okay, but coming back to our group and team. So, what is the essence of a team? If it's not cooperation, if it's not honestly the size. You mentioned that 2 is what differentiates it from a group, which requires 3. But it leaves us still, I think, cold. So I wonder what is the essence of a team, because do you need a team leader to
that's an interesting question. Can groups survive without
I say
leader?
No, you don't, because I know Borussia Dortmund was a team back in the days when Robert Lewandowski and other Polish players were playing there. They didn't have actually a leader, like a clear leader who was leading them. They were like a collective of average players who actually together constituted something more than what you could theoretically see on paper. So there was like no leader there, and yet it was a team, very, very strong team. And it happens in sports. Sometimes there's no leader, but just people working hard, all of them. So I say
there's
you don't
no
need a leader.
One characteristic that will cut it.
No, and the same refers to uniforms.
Yeah.
You may wear the same uniforms. It doesn't make you a team. It might help with this identity, like team identity. Oh yeah, I'm wearing the same shirt like you. Okay, we're a team. But come on, it's like I said about the football fans. They are wearing the same colors, but they're not a team. They're a group. So I don't know, honestly, what is the essence of a team now.
Maybe we should. Maybe we can ask.
I would say trust, but then
let's ask our listeners to comment. We're lost.
Yeah, Grace, that's fantastic. We are not alone here. I should have actually Michael Jackson's "You Are Not Alone" here in my jingles. Don't make me sing. Yeah, but of course, guys, if you listen to that, my question to you is, what is the essence of a team? One defining feature that turns a group into a team, or that basically is, the essence of a team. I would say personally trust, but this is not true, because based on the example of my laptop battery, I can say, well, did I trust these guys? Yeah, initially, yes. I was lucky, of course, but no, you can actually trust today. You can trust strangers, thanks to whatever, the development, the institutional development that we have. Your guess or wild shot at the essence of a team?
Yeah, we will be mine. I thought you were talking to the listeners.
No. Your.
I think, I said, like I said, I don't think there's one feature. It's a combination that cuts it. It's being interdependent, knowing each other pretty well.
Going through a recruitment
yes.
process.
And having a common goal.
Yeah, but you have to be careful with that common goal, because
of course you have to.
Riding a bus, you also, or waiting for the bus.
No, it's not a common. We have individual goals. It so happened that they coincided.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. So you have to be careful. They need to become.
We work towards achieving a result that is that will be one result. That's how I see it.
Right.
So
right.
What
but still,
is it?
We are waiting for the ideas of our listeners for
Please.
sure.
We're stuck.
How are they supposed to deliver that these answers?
Isn't
they can always email us. Don't. Yeah,
are
you can either email
enabled?
us. You mean in podcasts?
Yeah.
Spotify. If you're using Spotify, you can do it. But I'm not sure about Apple Podcasts. I'm not sure about other apps, Google Podcasts, and so on.
Okay,
we are present
emails
everywhere, but. So why don't you, unless you listen on Spotify, then you can comment directly in the app. But if not, just email us at studiomentals@live.com. The email is in the description, of course, as well.
Is it time for mental?
I think, I'll play that for myself.
Okay.
I know it's not fair, but...
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Thanks. Okay.
That was something, I feel like I blabbed a lot.
You did.
All right. Right.
I hope it was linguistically rich, your blabbing.
It was rich. It was comprehensible, guys.
It's
the best podcast you can find on this planet. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go and subscribe now.
This was another episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye-bye.